What's up, 12s? Victor here? And listen, this Super Bowl week is getting wild for the Seattle Seahawks. While everyone out there is locked in on the Patriots matchup, on game plans, on matchups, on ring talk, the Seahawks are quietly making moves that could have a huge impact on Sunday, and an even bigger impact on what comes next. Just days before Super Bowl LX, Seattle made a roster decision that might not grab headlines, but absolutely matters when you're talking about field position, discipline, and winning the hidden yards battle. And if you know playoff football, you already know special teams can swing championships. At the same time, there's something else hovering over this Super Bowl run, something we can't ignore. There's a growing belief around the league that the mind behind this offensive turnaround, the same offense that jumped from 18th in scoring last season to top 3 in the entire NFL this year, could be on his way out after Sunday. And if that happens, the concern isn't just about a coordinator leaving. It's about players, key contributors, impact guys, players who fit this system perfectly. On offense, on defense, and especially on special teams, potentially following him to Las Vegas. Think about it. Speed, physical receivers, elite return ability, a running back who just had his healthiest and most explosive season, and even a young corner with shutdown potential. Losing one would hurt. Losing multiple? That changes the entire offseason conversation. So tonight, we're going to break down why this late roster move actually matters more than people think, how it could affect field position against New England, and which Seahawks players could realistically be at risk after the Super Bowl, and why John Schneider has some big decisions coming fast. But before we dive in, smash that like button if you're riding with Seattle all the way, and subscribe to Seahawks Nation. Update only if you're a real fan, only if you truly believe the Seahawks are about to win the Super Bowl, because banners fade, stats reset, but championships, those last forever. Let's talk about it, 12s. All right, Seahawks Nation, this one might look like a small move on paper, but before the Super Bowl, there are no small moves. Just days before Super Bowl LX against the Patriots, the Seahawks made a quiet but very intriguing roster move that could actually matter more than people realize. Now let's talk about what Seattle just did, and why it matters. The roster move. What happened? The Seahawks officially announced 2 moves. Linebacker Chaz Surratt activated from injured reserve. Offensive lineman Amari Kite placed on injured reserve. At first glance, this doesn't scream headline news, but context is everything this close to kickoff. Why Chaz Surratt matters more than you think. Let's start with Chaz Surratt. Surratt, 28 years old, signed with Seattle before the season and appeared in 11 games before suffering an ankle injury that sent him to IR back on November 26. Now here's the key part. He only played 7 defensive snaps all season, but he was a core special teams player, and in the Super Bowl, special teams can absolutely swing momentum. The numbers don't lie. Surratt played 60% of Seattle's special team snaps. He finished second on the team in special teams tackles, 11, only behind Brady Russell, who had 14. That tells you something. The coaching staff trusts him. He knows his assignments, he plays fast, physical, and disciplined against a Patriots team that is historically strong in situational football. This is huge. Super Bowl. Football is about details. People focus on quarterbacks, explosive plays, red zone offense. But Super Bowls are often decided by field position, coverage lanes, one missed tackle on a return. And that's exactly where a guy like Surratt comes in. He's not flashy, he's not a star, but he does his job. And if Seattle just prevented one long return, one hidden yardage swing, or forced a fair catch because of Surratt's presence, that's winning football. What about Amari Kite? Now, on the other side of the move, Amari Kite goes to injured reserve. Kite was an undrafted free agent who spent most of the year on the practice squad, appeared in 4 games late in the season. This move likely tells us 2 things. His knee injury isn't improving fast enough. Seattle feels comfortable with their current offensive line depth. That's encouraging, especially with the line protecting Sam Darnold playing the best football of his career. Big picture. This is a win-the-margins move. This roster decision screams one thing to me as a fan. Seattle is locked in on the details. They're not chasing headlines. They're preparing for kick coverage, punt coverage, physicality discipline. That's championship preparation. And remember, Bill Belichick built a dynasty on exactly this kind of thinking. Seattle is meeting the Patriots on their own turf mentally. Super Bowl info reminder, Levi's Stadium. Kickoff 6:30 p.m. ET Super Bowl LX Seahawks versus Patriots. Everything is on the line. So, let me ask you, 12s. Do you think special teams will be a difference maker in this Super Bowl? Are we sleeping on how important these small roster moves really are? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ride with me if you believe. The Seahawks are about to bring home their second Lombardi. All right, Seahawks Nation, this is a big conversation. And honestly, it's a little uncomfortable, but it's real. We need to talk about something that could seriously impact the future of this roster after the Super Bowl. Klint Kubiak might be on his way to Las Vegas. And if that happens, he might not be going alone. Before we dive in, do me a favor. Smash that like button, subscribe to Seahawks Nation Update. And if you truly believe the Seahawks are winning the Super Bowl, this channel is for you. Now let's break this down, player by player. The big picture. Why this matters. Klint Kubiak is reportedly doing his second interview with the Raiders, just days before Seattle faces the Patriots in Super Bowl LX. If he gets that job, and all signs point to yes, this becomes the classic NFL story. Coach leaves, familiar players follow roster, continuity gets tested. The Raiders have cap space, a potential rookie QB reset, a need for identity, and Kubiak already knows exactly who fits his system. Let's start with the name that scares Seahawks fans the most. Rashid Shaheed. Since John Schneider acquired him at the trade deadline, Shaheed has been a game changer, a field flipper, arguably the best kick and punt returner in the NFL. This dude isn't just a receiver, he's hidden yardage, instant offense, and defensive stress. Why Vegas would love him? Elite speed, vertical threat, special teams dominance, perfect for a young QB. And remember, Kubiak coached Shaheed in New Orleans in 2024. They already speak the same football language. If Kubiak goes to Vegas, Shaheed is a plug-and-play weapon. For Seattle, letting him walk would be brutal. Now this one might surprise some people. Derek Young. He's not a stat monster. He's not flashy. But Kubiak loves this type of player. Why? Big body, willing blocker. Special teams contributor, physical mindset. Seattle kept Young, Jake Bobo, and Cody White for a reason. This offense is built on run-first toughness. The Raiders struggled badly in the run game. Kubiak fixes that, and Derek Young helps make that happen. This is the type of move fans don't notice until he's gone. This is where things get serious. Kenneth Walker III just had his best, his healthiest, his most complete season in 2025. And now, Zach Charbonnet tore his ACL in the playoffs and may not be ready for Week 1 next year. If Walker leaves, Seattle could be without both top running backs. Why the Raiders make sense. Kubiak's system is perfect for Walker. Walker understands RB rotations. He and Ashton Jeanty could mirror the Walker-Charbonnet combo. Yes, RBs are devalued, but it only takes one team to overpay, and that team might be Vegas. Player 4, Rick Woolen. Defense matters. 2. Even though Kubiak is an offensive coach, he knows one thing. You don't win without defense. The Raiders desperately need length, speed. A true shutdown corner, enter Rick Woolen. Yes, he's had consistency issues, emotional ups and downs, benching moments. But when he's right, he's one of the most physically gifted corners in the NFL. Pair him with Max Crosby rushing the passer? That's dangerous. And Kubiak would trust his DC to clean up the details. Can Seattle stop the bleeding? Let's be clear, 12s. This is the price of success. Seattle is in the Super Bowl, has a top 3 offense, has a hot coordinator, has valuable free agents. John Schneider is going to have some tough decisions to make. You don't keep everyone, but you have to keep the right ones. So I want to hear from you. Which player would hurt the most to lose if Kubiak goes to Vegas? Who do the Seahawks absolutely have to re-sign? Drop your takes in the comments, like the video. Subscribe to the channel, and if you believe this team is about to finish the job, the Seahawks are winning the Super Bowl. This is Victor. This is Seahawks Nation Update. Go Hawks!